So, good evening. Today is 27th July 2023, and we are continuing our discussion on strategic preparation of UPSC civil services and considering the upcoming new pattern of MPSC state services. So, how to prepare at basic level for these examinations through NCERTs, that is CBSE board books. Okay, so NCERT is nothing but these are the books of CBSE, Central Board of Secondary Education, and there is much difference between CBSE books and state board books. But nowadays you can find that state boards they are also having quality material, right? So they are also following NCERTs. So yesterday we discussed NCERTs of history and NCERTs of geography. So with respect to history NCERT, what I have told you, you need to study NCERT of 8th standard thoroughly, and NCERTs of 12th standard. Okay, means thoroughly. If you want to go through the NCERT, so 8th standard NCERT of history and the 12th standard NCERT, part 1, part 2, and part 3. Okay, so that you need to do thoroughly. Rest of the NCERTs of 9th and 10th standard, I have identified certain important chapters. Okay, and for 9th and 10th standard NCERTs, you don't need to prepare as such thorough notes from those NCERTs. But as far as the 8th and the 12th standard 1, 2, 3 parts are concerned, you need to prepare your notes also. So that would be a helpful thing for your UPSC preparation, state services exams preparation. Second thing, we discuss about geography. Okay, so geography again 8th standard, right? We started with 8th standard. So from 8th standard to 12th standard, all NCERTs are important, and the most important NCERT which I discussed yesterday, that is of 11th standard, because 11th standard NCERT is conceptual NCERT. Okay, moreover it is conceptual. So it includes your physical geography, your climatology, and your oceanography. Okay, so 11th, you cannot skip 11th NCERT. Okay, you should not skip rather 11th standard NCERT, and wherever possible you should try to make your notes, because I have told you what is the importance of notes and ultimately the micro notes. Okay, ultimately the micro notes. Another thing which I want to share here in this today's second special session on NCERT, like for example, now I am having these NCERTs of polity, that is political science and economy. So now for this 8th standard NCERT, okay, there are like they have mentioned 114 pages. Okay, 114 pages. So 114 pages back to back. So 114 pages means how many pages? 57 pages. 57 pages. So basically back to back 57 pages. Now your speed of NCERT, like speed of finishing NCERT, or your target to finish NCERTs is based on your own speed. Your own speed of finishing one single page, 10 pages. Suppose most of the time I found some problems with the students, like many of the students, those who are from vernacular background, जो इंग्लिश मीडियम के नहीं होते हैं, उनको परेशानी ये होती है कि एनसीईआरटीज को या किसी भी इंग्लिश मीडियम के बुक को अगर खत्म करना है, so they take more time as compared to their competitors of English medium students, right? Because English medium student, he or she will read that NCERT interpretation part is different, but they will definitely finish NCERT like one page. Suppose if I count one page, so one page they will finish in 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Contrary, vernacular medium student, okay, a person who is having Marathi or the Hindi medium, okay, or any language vernacular medium. So he or she will take 10 minutes also, 7 to 8 minutes also. Okay, because just reading is not our target. Understanding of that page, okay, specific page. Sometimes every page is not important, but sometimes few pages are more important, okay, to gather information, to understand each and everything, to interpret the things. So with respect to that, you need to identify your own strength, your own weaknesses with respect to this entire preparation, okay. So you just try to identify ki, like what is your speed of reading one single page. Because if you are identifying that you are reading one single page in 5 minutes, then to finish 10 pages, how much time is required? एक पेज तुम्ही 5 मिनिटात केलं, 10 पेजेस किती मिनिटात वाचाल तुम्ही? 50 मिनिटामध्ये. 50 मिनिटामध्ये म्हणजे 12 पेजेस तुम्ही एका तासात करू शकता. ओके, सो पॉसिबिलिटी इज दॅट की यू वुड फिनिश possibly 12 page. So we can consider this is a standard. This is a standard for all students. Average जर काढला तर. So 12 pages you are finishing in 1 hour. Okay. So तुम्हाला 60 page ची जर NCERT आहे. 60 page ची NCERT. So 60 page ची NCERT म्हणजे 60 म्हणजे बॅक टू बॅक मध्ये. हा म्हणजे एक पेज म्हणजे बॅक टू बॅक कन्सिडर करा. 1 page means not single page. Back to back page. Okay, so back to back page we are finishing in 5 minutes. Okay, so 60 pages means 120 pages back to back. Okay, so there is a possibility, or it is expected that you should finish that one NCERT in as per this criteria 5 years. Okay, 5 years. I am giving you 10 hours. I am giving you 10 hours. So if you are considering a NCERT of 120 pages with the back-to-back mode, so you need to finish that NCERT in 10 hours. म्हणजे एका दिवसात एक NCERT. Suppose our count is, average count is 120 pages per NCERT, because not necessary ki 120 pages per NCERT. Sometimes you would find 100 page back-to-back, म्हणजे 50 pages झाले. Sometimes more pages, 130 pages, 65. Sometimes 140 also, 70 झाले. So on average, if you are considering one single day, that is 10 to 12 hours for one NCERT. So if you are considering 25 NCERTs or 30 NCERTs, so ideally it should be within 1 month. If you are a full-timer student, full-timer means what? If you are preparing only for civil services. Okay, if you don't have any other assignment other than the preparation. Okay, so ideally in a 1 month you need to finish your all NCERTs. Okay, but I am again giving you 15 more days. मी तुम्हाला आणखी किती दिवस देतो? एक्स्ट्रा 15 दिवस देतो. म्हणजे आपण एका NCERT ला किती एक दिवस पकडला. 30 NCERT असतील तर 30 days. पण मी तुम्हाला आणखी 15 दिवस देतो. तर तुमचं किती दिवसात व्हायला पाहिजे NCERT? 45 days मध्ये. 45 days मध्ये व्हायला पाहिजे. If you are a full timer. Okay, if you have completed your graduation, okay, and if you are a full timer, and if you are appearing for next year attempt, then you should finish your NCERTs in 45 days or 50 days time. Those who are doing jobs, those who are doing some other things, those who are having some other assignments, they can take 15 more days. Suppose if you are a job going student, so you can take 2 months. If you are a full timer, you should finish your NCERTs at least once properly, okay, with notes within 45 days. If you are a job going student, finish within 50 days. And if you are a college going student who is doing first year, second year, or third year, so you should have a target of 3 to 4 months. You should have a target of 3 to 4 months. If your attempt is of 2025, then you can do the things parallelly. Okay, means because you cannot give 10 hours a day. Okay, you are having time for your college, you are having time for your other college assignments, etc., etc. So in this case, and if you are having at least 2 years for preparation, then you can give 4 months to finish NCERTs. Okay, so these are certain small, it's a part of strategy, and these are certain instructions which I want to give you, because what happens most of the time, whenever batch starts, usually every time I repeat same instructions. I give same instructions since the last 17 years to so many students. Few students, they consider these instructions seriously. Okay, they start their preparation seriously. Few students, even after so many repeated instructions, reminders, they do not follow instructions. And we cannot help those students who are not helping themselves. है ना, जो खुद की मदद नहीं कर सकता, हम उसको मदद कितनी भी करें. Yeah, Aditya, we have test. We already have tests based on NCERTs, so don't worry about that. Very soon we are going to conduct tests based on NCERT, possibly in the month of September. Possibly in the month of September only we are going to conduct tests based on NCERT. Okay, so don't worry about that. You just try to finish your NCERTs, and those who have finished NCERTs, so you try to revise NCERTs. Okay, try to get notes out of those NCERTs, right? Okay, now, so let us begin with rest of the NCERTs, because we need to finish this discussion on NCERT today itself. Okay, and I will do this discussion in a very proper way, because I don't want any. Yes, so the first. Yeah, so till yesterday we discussed NCERTs of history and geography. Now today our and biology also. Yes, biology. So biology, I have told you 11th and 12th standard biology. Okay, 11th and 12th standard biology. Okay, so now just a minute. Social and political life. Okay, so if you are having NCERT, you can check this 8th standard book, Social and Political Life, Part 3, Social Science. Okay, and these are the NCERTs related to. These are NCERTs related to polity section. Polity section. These are NCERTs related to polity section. Politics, governance, polity, constitution, etc., etc. Now see, in this NCERT, the first chapter, they have mentioned this first chapter. See the total pages 114. The Indian Constitution and secularism. Okay, very important. Okay. Unit 1, the Indian Constitution and secularism. So the chapter 1 is the Indian Constitution and understanding secularism. Nowadays, the concept of secularism is very important. So you are getting this concept from NCERT. So this is this is 8th standard NCERT, and many of the, like most of the time, what happened, no, कि many of the students, after completing their school studies, they have gone through these things, right? Now you are at a mature level. You have completed your graduation. Few of the students are engineers, few are doctors. Okay, few are from management side, few are from social sciences. Few students are still doing at our Sambodhi platform. Those who are preparing for civil services and rest of the examinations. So few are pursuing their undergraduate studies. But all of you must have studied at your school level, okay, CBSE board or state board, you must have studied secularism. But what happened afterwards, when you start preparation for competitive examinations like civil services or state services, many of the students I have observed that they forget the basic concept of secularism. बरोबर ना मोहित? Secularism चा concept काय सांग? What is the concept of secularism? बोलत चल मोहित, बोलणं आवश्यक आहे. प्रत्येकाने लक्षात ठेवा, तुम्हाला बोलता आलं पाहिजे. तुम्हाला बोलता जर आलं नाही तर ते UPSC वाले तुम्हाला चहा पाजतील आणि हाकलून देतील. हाकलून देतील म्हणजे म्हणतील की बाबा ठीक आहे, नेक्स्ट टाइम, ओके, सी यू नेक्स्ट टाइम. हा हा हा, ते चहा वगैरे पाजतात, कधी ऑफर करतात, ते बिस्किट चहा है ना, ऑफर करतात ते. तो बोलणं आलं पाहिजे है ना. बोलणाऱ्याचे शब्द ऐकले जातात आणि त्याच्यावरतीच मार्क्स दिले जातात. ओके, one of my seniors, he is now IPS officer in Uttarakhand cadre. I cannot take his name, and he appeared for UPSC interview at least 5 times. Okay, and he was not he was very hard worker person, but his problem was he was not having that skill of expression. Okay, he was good in studies. Okay, he wrote so many mains. He appeared 5 times, five times, at least 5 times. And because of his mains examination score, every time he reached to the interview, and every time he failed because of interview performance, because he was not having that expression quality to express the feelings, to express his knowledge. Okay, so whatever exam, like we are preparing for such kind of examination, which don't just require your bookish knowledge or whatever knowledge you gain through this process of coaching or this thing, they are also checking your knowledge of expression, your knowledge through expression, your opinion, your criticism, your critical thinking, whatever. That's why whenever we are asking in class to ask questions, okay, don't ask unnecessary questions. Okay, be like, one should have a to the point approach, but whenever we are asking to express yourself, so you need to express yourself. तुम्ही एक्सप्रेस करणं शिका. काही मुलं खूप चांगलं बोलतात, खूप चांगले एक्सप्रेस करतात. काही मुलं मनातल्या मनातच ती गोष्ट ठेवतात. आपल्याला मनातल्या मनात ठेवायचं नसतं. ओके, मन ही मन में मत चर्चा करो. मन ही मन में चर्चा करोगे तो मार्क्स कैसे मिलेगा भाई इंटरव्यू में? Okay, so our preparation is like, our aim is not just to qualify prelims or the mains. Our aim is to qualify interview also. So with respect to interview, बिंदास्त बोलायला पाहिजे तुम्ही. हा, जे आवश्यक आहे तेवढं बोला. हा, सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं, जो चाहिए वो बोलना ही चाहिए. Okay, so whenever I ask questions and whenever I ask to speak out something, so you need to deliver yourself, right? Yeah, so सेक्युलरिज्म, या तेजश्री बोलो मुझे सेक्युलरिज्म की क्या कंसेप्ट पता है तुम्हें? तेजश्री पाल बोलो, व्हाट इज योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द कंसेप्ट ऑफ सेक्युलरिज्म? तेजश्री, तेजश्री आवाज सुनाई देता है? हेलो, या रुचिता, टेल मी व्हाट इज योर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ कंसेप्ट ऑफ सेक्युलरिज्म? हाँ, रुचिता, yes Ruchita, your concept of or your understanding of the concept of secularism, what do you know about this concept secularism? What is your understanding? Ruchita, और आवाज देते हो ना सगळ्यांना की नहीं येता है कि बारिश की वजह से वो ऊपर ही ऊपर पानी में बह गया? हाँ हाँ रुचिता, शरयू डांगे, शरयू, शरयू डांगे सांग, हेलो.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is your
So
understanding
the
of
separation of religion from civil affairs and the state, like this.
no
Can you call it secularism?
explain properly. What is your understanding of secularism?
So, I mean, it does not have any state religion, and people are free to practice any religion to their choice.
Okay, yeah, good. So state don't have religion. State don't have religion. State means nation. State don't have religion. Nation don't have any religion. But individual can have his own religion. He or she can practice, profess any faith, promote any faith. Okay, irrespective. And the most important thing is that you need to, while propagating, while promoting your religion, you need to follow certain norms, societal norms. Societal norms means what? You cannot compel anybody to follow your religious practices. You cannot force anybody to accept his or her religion. Okay, you need to see the law and order situation. Okay, because of something, if you are doing something, okay, in while promoting your religion, so you need to consider the law and order of the society, because many of the times we can see that in the name of religion, in the name of promotion of the religion, many of the times we can see that certain problems happen, right? Certain problems. So this is a conflicting this thing. So secularism, the concept of secularism as per the constitution is, state don't have any religion, people can have their religion. Okay, you can be a theist, you can be a atheist. तुम्ही थेइस्ट पण असू शकता, तुम्ही अथेइस्ट पण असू शकता. थेइस्ट म्हणजे काय? कुठेतरी श्रद्धा असलेले. अथेइस्ट म्हणजे काय? श्रद्धा नसलेले, आहे की नाही? ओके, या. सो नाउ दिस इज important chapter. So the Indian constitution and understanding secularism. So through this chapter you would understand secularism, the concept of secularism, as per the, like, considering the mentality of the students at 8th standard. Okay, so they discuss this concept very nicely, considering the age of the students. Then both the chapters are important. Okay, then your parliament and the making of laws, parliament and the making of, okay, you need to parliament and the making of laws. Okay, so this is again important chapter. Judiciary, social justice and the marginalized, understanding of marginalization, confronting marginalization. Now these concepts are important. Okay, what is social justice and marginalized? Okay, what is your understanding of marginalization? And then the term used is confronting marginalization. Again, very important terms. Okay, like I have already told you, if you are appearing for the first paper, in first paper there is a history, social justice or the social issues, and the geography. In the second paper there is a polity. Okay, polity, governance, right? Then social justice, international relation at the mains level. So in that paper also, while writing your answers, these concepts are very important. And the third important thing is essay writing. Okay, so for essay writing also, again, understanding of these concepts is very important. Okay, and there is your economic presence of the government. So public facilities, law and the social justice. So this entire NCERT of the 8th standard is important. Okay, पूर्ण 8th standard जो आहे, which is social and political life, part 3. This is totally important. Textbook for class 8. Okay, social and political life, 8, third part. Social and political life, third part. Okay. So this is important. This is important. Now the next NCERT is of your 9th standard. Okay. Social science, democratic politics, part 1. Okay. Social science, democratic politics, part 1. Textbook in political science for class 9. Okay. For class 9. Those who don't have any NCERT at present, they need to write these instructions. Okay, whatever instructions I am giving, you should write these instructions if you don't have NCERT. Okay, now okay, and see, nowadays secularism is very important concept, huh? Because what we say that state don't have religion, है ना? अपन काय म्हणतो की राज्य का और राष्ट्र का कोई धर्म नहीं होता है, लेकिन हमें ये दिखता है कि राष्ट्र और राज्य को चलाने वाले लोग अगर किसी स्पेसिफिक रिलीजन के प्रमोशन की बात कर रहे हैं या उसके फेवर में काम कर रहे हैं, तो दे आर नॉट वर्किंग इन अ ट्यून ऑफ the concept of secularism which is mentioned in constitution. So nowadays the concept of secularism is in danger. Okay, for your kind information, the concept of secularism is in danger. Okay, because it is expected that state don't have any religion. So in state affairs, you should not practice or you should not perform any kind of activities or such kind of activities which are promoting a specific religion. Okay, but unfortunately we can find that the things are not happening as per the concept of secularism, okay, in the recent period. Anyway, that is another topic I will discuss while discussing the constitution, okay, with examples, right? We shall discuss all current issues related to this particular concept. Next is what is democracy, why democracy? Very important. What is democracy, why democracy? Democracy क्या है और why? क्यों democracy? Then constitutional design, then electoral politics, working of institutions, democratic rights. See, this is really wonderful syllabus because at early age, at 8th standard, 9th standard, you people are understanding these things. Okay. And if you are understanding these things with the help of certain examples, then definitely you would retain these things for your entire life. अगर आपने ये चीजें, ये जो भी पढ़ाई है, अगर स्कूल डेज में अच्छे से विद एग्जाम्पल के साथ आपके अगर टीचर्स ने आपको शायद सिखाई होंगी तो फिर आपको लॉन्ग टर्म में याद रहेगा. लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होता है हर, है ना? मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम you would find that at school level the main agenda of the school is to finish syllabus and to take examinations. This is the only agenda of most of the reputed schools, most of the so-called international schools, national schools वगैरह जे काय असतं ते. Okay, so and the problem is that those teachers who are teaching these subjects, so they don't have also this understanding their knowledge is limited to the chapters. Okay, means I am not criticizing, but this is the reality most of the time, because we we had earlier also so many students, those who studied from so-called hi-fi international schools of Thane, Mumbai. Okay, and when they approach at Sambodhi for UPSC coaching, and when I asked them questions, basic questions, so they failed to answer. Okay, why you fail to answer? Because you don't have proper understanding at the school level. आता sometimes टीचरचा पण दोष नसतो. तुम्ही तुम्ही तुमचं एजचा दोष असतो तो काही वेळेला, कारण आपण तितक्या सिरियसली या गोष्टी घेत नाही, है ना. आपण आपला पण उद्देश काय असतो, चलो भाई एग्जाम आई है, पढ़ लेना है, थोड़ा सा रट्टाफिकेशन करना है, मार्क्स अच्छे आ जाएंगे तो घर वाले बोलेंगे कि अच्छा स्टूडेंट है, हुशार है, इंटेलिजेंट है, राइट. So certification on the basis of your scorecard, right? And that is the problem basically. So we don't have analytical approach at the school level. Okay, we don't have critical approach at the school level. Okay, so that is the problem. So anyway, but the syllabus is very nice. Okay, I need to appreciate syllabus. So what is democracy? What is democracy? काय असतं democracy? काय असतं लता, डेमोक्रेसीची व्याख्या काय? What is democracy? What is democracy? हा पायल, डेमोक्रेसी काय? लोकशाही म्हणजे काय? हा, what is democracy? What is your definition of democracy? मराठीत आपण काय म्हणतो? डेमोक्रेसी म्हणजे काय? लोकशाही. आणि अब्राहम लिंकनची व्याख्या सगळेच लोक सांगतात. हा, अब्राहम लिंकनची व्याख्या सगळेच लोक सांगतात ना, लोकांनी लोकांचे असं, हा असंच म्हणतात ना काहीतरी. हा, व्हॉट इज डेमोक्रेसी? येस आर्यन, व्हॉट इज डेमोक्रेसी? What is your understanding of democracy, Aryan? Sarang, what is your understanding of democracy? अरे बोलत चला रे, डेमोक्रेसी म्हणजे काय? Yeah, what is democracy? Sarang, what is democracy? So they have, to define democracy, they have mentioned, they have given one this thing here, dialogues, okay, between Mary and Lingdo madam. Okay, so Mary, Lingdo madam, Ribiang. Okay, so now see, this kind of description is given in these books. For if you are having time, you can go through these kind of dialogues which they have mentioned in books. Otherwise, directly you can read those sections which are important with respect to your examination. Okay, now a very simple definition which is mentioned in these NCERT books. Democracy is a form of government. Democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. Democracy काय आहे याच्यामध्ये दिलेलं आहे. Democracy is a form of government. आहे ना, सरकारचं एक स्वरूप आहे. कसं? जिथे जे तुमचे रूलर्स आहेत, तुमच्यावरती राज्य करणारे, त्यांना कोणी इलेक्ट केलेलं आहे? लोकांनी. ओके, सो द सिंपल डेफिनेशन that rulers elected through rulers elected through people. So we have an election system. We are having a direct election system and we are having an indirect election system. Okay. For direct election system, you can see at the state level there is a Vidhan Sabha. So all the members, those to whom you are sending to Vidhan Sabha, they are called as Amdar, member of Legislative Assembly. And the members, those who got elected in the Lok Sabha elections, and those who are representing you from your constituencies, okay, in a parliamentary election, so they are member of parliament, MP, right? आता शिकू त्यावेळेस आपण याच्यावरती डिस्कस करू की वेदर द प्रेझेंट सिस्टम इन इंडिया and like when we talk about the rulers elected by the people, but here if you see the election system, in election system there is one very important question mark. There is a majority of the people. A person who got majority, he is declared as a elected person, right? The same is applicable to the party politics also. Okay, what happened in India? Because see, if 100 people are there, 100 persons are there, and there are 4 candidates, so the 100 votes will divided into those 4 candidates. So a person who secured maximum votes, okay, he will declared as an elected person. But what about the rest of the votes? What about rest of the votes? Suppose 4 persons are there, and out of, like, suppose one person received 45 number of votes, another person received 40 votes. Okay, so 85 झाले, है ना? And 15 votes, एकाला 5 मिळाले, दुसऱ्याला 10 मिळाले. But 45 votes, if somebody secured 45 votes, he secured 45 votes, but 55 votes are against him. But still he is identified as a elected. Okay, so this is about elected person. And with respect to political party also, a political party which is identified, which party is identified as a finally elected party? A party which is securing maximum number of seats. Maximum number of seats, not votes. ठीक आहे, 545 पैकी तुम्हाला 280 मिळाले सीट्स. ओके, 280-82 मिळाले, पण बाकीचे तर तुमच्या अगेन्स्ट मध्ये आहेत ना. ओके, सो बेसिकली आपण याच्यावरती डिस्कशन नंतर करू. आय डोंट हॅव टाइम टू डिस्कस द थिंग्स. ओके, सो बेसिकली डेमोक्रेसी. ओके, डेमोक्रेसी मीन्स मेजॉरिटी, अँड डेमोक्रेसी म्हणजे काय? A government in which the rulers are elected by the people. Very simple definition. But with respect to the election, again you need to consider those 2 factors. That is a critical analysis of the concept democracy. Okay, that is another part of another side of the concept of democracy. म्हणजे लोकशाहीमध्ये असं नॉट नेसेसरी की म्हणजे तुम्ही लोकांना निवडून दिलं म्हणजे काय, तर मेजॉरिटीने निवडून दिलं, एकच आहे त्याच्यात. सगळेच नाही निवडून देत ना, बरोबर ना? सगळेच देतात का? 100च्या 100 वोट पडतात का एका व्यक्तीला? नाही पडत. ठीक आहे, त्याच्यामुळे कन्सेप्ट आहे डेमोक्रेसीमध्ये की मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द वोट्स, मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द वोट, दॅट इज द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट थिंग. ओके, सो द फर्स्ट चॅप्टर इज ऑल्सो इम्पॉर्टंट. देन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल डिझाइन, इलेक्टोरल पॉलिटिक्स, वर्किंग ऑफ इन्स्टिट्यूशन्स अँड डेमोक्रेटिक राइट्स. So the entire NCERT is important. Okay, and try to find out, because in these NCERTs, I have gone through these NCERTs, so they have given so many examples. Okay, they have given so many examples. For example, one chapter of this same book, on page number 81, they have mentioned right to freedom. Okay, right to freedom. So they have mentioned that freedom means absence of constraints. In practical life, it means absence of interference in our affairs by others, be it other individuals or the government. We want to live in society, but we want to be free. We want to do things in the way we want to do them. Others should not dictate us what we should do. किसने क्या पहनना है, किसने क्या खाना है, ये दूसरों ने बताने की जरूरत नहीं है. ओके, दैट इज फ्रीडम. ओके, लाइक इन द नेम ऑफ धिस अँड दॅट. आता आपल्या घरी, आपल्या इकडे दुनियाभराचे कन्सेप्ट लोकांनी शेकडो वर्षापासून डोक्यावरती बसून ठेवलेलं आहे, ट्रेडिशन, कस्टम्स, हे ते. सो and we don't raise any questions, right? We don't raise any questions. असंच घातलं पाहिजे, तसंच घातलं पाहिजे, ठीक है बाबा, ऐसा ही रहना चाहिए, वैसा ही खाना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं खाना चाहिए. Okay, so and if you are doing certain things, okay, so like for example, you can take examples of women's society. Okay, women, Indian women. So with respect to Indian women, in our Orthodox society, you would find that there are, even today, there are so many restrictions. है ना? म्हणजे तुम्ही आता if you are going to the rural areas, so in rural areas, if you find a girl wearing jeans and t-shirts, so लोक काय म्हणतात, अरे कशी कसे काही चालचलन ठीक नाही, है ना, असं म्हणतात लोक, आहे ना, काय खूपच शिक्षणाचे हे आहे, जास्तच शिकलेली दिसते. राईट. असं म्हणजे in rural areas, even today, like today, you can find, and in the mostly in the states like UP and Bihar, okay, they are very orthodox people. So you would find still they are having this kind of comments. Okay, so basically, who are you to dictate your terms to her? Okay, she is an individual personality, and as a human being, one need to accept the human rights and the fundamental rights of an individual. Okay, the same thing is applicable to the people belong to the different religions. Okay, different religions, those who are from diverse, those who are from different societies. Okay, so this right to freedom is explained very nicely here. Freedom of speech and expression वगैरे वगैरे सगळं आहे. ओके, अँड देन इथे एक अनटचॅबिलिटीच्या संदर्भात एक पॅरेग्राफ दिलेला आहे, तो पण चांगला दिलेला आहे. ओके, सो इफ यू आर रीडिंग धिस NCERT thoroughly, you would understand the recent happenings in our society. You would understand different concepts in a simple language. Okay, so now next NCERT is your Democratic Politics Part 2, textbook in political science for class 10. Okay. So okay, so yeah, unit power sharing. Okay, see, the chapter is power sharing, then federalism, gender, religion and caste, political parties, outcomes of democracy. Okay, so the first chapter, that is power sharing. So in this chapter, they have given certain examples of Belgium and Sri Lanka, majoritarianism in Sri Lanka, okay, ethnic communities of Sri Lanka, and then accommodation in Belgium. Okay, and yeah, so they haven't mentioned here about the Indian scenario. So they have given you examples of certain other countries. So if you want, you can read this chapter, otherwise you can leave. Then second chapter is federalism. So federalism is a concept which is very important with respect to the different countries of the world. Okay, so federalism, they have mentioned again, they have mentioned this concept of federalism, considering the examples of different countries, and about India also. Okay, about India and how is federalism practiced, that is also mentioned here with respect to India, right? So this chapter is important. Okay, this chapter is totally important. Next chapter is gender, religion and caste. So power sharing is not as such much important, but federalism is important. Gender, religions and caste. third chapter. So gender, religion, and caste. Okay, gender and politics. Okay, and yeah. So perceptions of ideal women. Okay. Perception of the ideal woman. So yeah, so nicely they have explained the different characteristics of Indian women. Okay, and they have asked some questions also here. So for the better understanding and the better interpretation of our Indian society, if you are reading this chapter, so you would get good knowledge and good ideas also. Okay, so patriarchy, the concept of patriarchy is mentioned here, rule by father, right? And statistics is also given. Okay, some statistics is also given in this chapter. Gender, religion, and caste. Okay, then religion, communalism, and politics. Okay, religion, communalism, and politics. So this is again one important part in this chapter. Now there is one important quotation is mentioned here in front of me on page number 36. They have mentioned one quotation of Gandhiji. Gandhiji used to say that religion can never be separated from politics. Okay, what he meant by religion was not any particular religion like Hinduism or Islam, but moral values that inform all religions. He believed that politics must be guided by ethics drawn from religion. So Gandhiji's idea about religion is that a religion is not like Hinduism or Islam or any other religion. Okay. Religion is what? Moral values that inform all religions. Moral values, value system. Okay. Value system. So value system. And he believed that politics must be guided by ethics drawn from religion. Okay. Now, in considering the present realities in Indian politics, do you find that our politics, Indian politics, is having such kind of values, or our leaders are following these ethical guidelines, these values, etc., etc.? So what was the idea of Gandhiji? That religion is a guiding principle, and religion means what? The values, the morality. Okay, so those moral principles should be a guiding principles for politics. Okay, so if you consider the current scenario in Indian politics, so Indian politics don't have as such this kind of influence. Okay, means they are saying that they are, like many of the political leaders, they are claiming that they are following religion in a true sense, but their religion is nothing but a symbolism. ओके, सिम्बॉलिझम. सिम्बॉलिझम म्हणजे काय असतं माहिती आहे का तुम्हाला? प्रतीकवाद, प्रतिकात्मक फॉलो करतात ते, है ना? अँड फॉर देम रिलीजन इज सम काइंड ऑफ इव्हेंट, ऑर्गनायझिंग सम काइंड ऑफ इव्हेंट्स, राईट? सेलिब्रेशन ऑफ धिस अँड दॅट विथ एव्हरी पॉम्प अँड शो, है ना? बऱ्याचशा लोकांसाठी धर्म निभावणे म्हणजे काय? तर मोठे मोठे उत्सव साजरे करने, है ना? बड़े बड़े उत्सव, बड़े बड़े सेलिब्रेशंस करना और लोगों को दिखाना कि हम कितने धार्मिक लोग हैं. दैट इज नॉट अ ट्रू मीनिंग ऑफ रिलीजन which Indian politicians are following. Okay, religion means another name of humanity. Religion means another name of brotherhood. Religion means another name of cooperation. Religion means another name of equality, freedom. If you are not following these virtues and these values, then you are not following religion. Okay, and this is not just applicable to the politicians. This is applicable to every citizen, in rather every individual. प्रत्येक व्यक्तीसाठी हे महत्त्वाचं आहे. है ना. तर त्याच्यामुळे like whenever like this quotation is good which is mentioned here. Okay, so see you will find so many good things from these books. So I would suggest की तुम्ही हे खूप चांगल्या पद्धतीने वाचा. ओके, हे खूप चांगल्या पद्धतीने वाचा. आता याच्यामध्ये एक पॅरेग्राफ दिलेला आहे पेज नंबर 41 वरती, कास्ट इनइक्वॅलिटी टुडे. ओके, कास्ट इनइक्वॅलिटी टुडे. I am just reading that. Caste is an important source of economic inequality. Caste is an important source of economic inequality because it regulates access to resources of various kinds. बघा NCERT मध्ये लिहिलेलं आहे, शासनाच्या पुस्तकात लिहिलेलं आहे. काय म्हटलेलं आहे? कास्ट इज एन इम्पॉर्टंट सोर्स ऑफ इकोनॉमिक इनइक्वालिटी. आर्थिक असमानता का महत्वपूर्ण सोर्स क्या है? तो जाति. जाति मतलब जाति प्रथा, जातिवाद. बिकॉज इट रेगुलेट्स. हाँ, हाँ, Aditya, you are correct. Okay, but whatever mentioned here in this NCERT, okay, with respect to Gandhiji, so that is another thing. That is another thing. Okay. So see, very important thing, that caste inequality today. Okay, so caste is an important source of economic inequality because it regulates access to resources of various kinds. For example, in the past, the so-called untouchable caste were denied the right to own land, while only the so-called twice-born caste had the right to education. Although this kind of explicit and formalized inequality based on caste is now outlawed, the effects of centuries of accumulated advantages and disadvantages continue to be felt. Moreover, new kinds of inequalities have also developed. Okay, very nice paragraph and nice explanation of the caste system in India. So they have compared the benefits of the upper status and the disadvantages of the lower status. Okay, the backward communities and the untouchables. Okay, वगैरह वगैरह. ठीक आहे, तर like through these NCERTs you would get so many things. आता इथे यांनी स्टॅटिस्टिक्स पण दिलेला आहे. शेड्यूल्ड ट्राईब्स, शेड्यूल्ड कास्ट, अदर बॅकवर्ड क्लास, मुस्लिम अप्पर कास्ट, हिंदू अप्पर कास्ट, ख्रिश्चन अप्पर कास्ट, सिख अप्पर कास्ट, अदर अप्पर कास्ट, हे सगळं दिलेलं आहे त्यांनी. ओके, 1999 2000चा हा एक पर्सेंटेज दिलेला आहे त्यांनी. ओके, सो NCERT and through this gender, religion and caste, this chapter will definitely help you to write your answers associated with social issues. सामाजिक विषयावरती तुम्हाला याचा हेल्प होईल. In fact, for essay writing, I have already told you, and to write certain other answers also. In fact, in economy, okay, in economy, in geography, there is a human geography. त्याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा याचा तुम्हाला हे होऊ शकतो. ठीक आहे. And then we have political parties and outcomes of democracy. So again, these two chapters are also important. Now our next this is political theory textbook for class 11. Okay, political theory. Okay, political theory textbook for class 11. So now see, yeah, so freedom, equality, social justice, rights, citizenship, nationalism, secularism, peace, development. Okay, all these terms. Okay, all these terms are important. The concepts through these terms that are important. Okay, so freedom means what? Equality ka hai, social justice, rights ka hai, citizenship ka hai, nationalism, secularism. Okay, so everything is important, and this NCERT is having 157 pages. 157 पेजेस म्हणजे किती झाले ते 70 म्हणजे 80 पकडा साधारणतः 80 बॅक टू बॅक मध्ये आहे ना. सो 80 पेजेस म्हणजे नॉट अ मॅटर ऑफ लाईक वन डे मध्ये तुम्ही ही छोटीशी एनसीईआरटी आहे, मोठे पेजेस पण नाही आहे. सो एंटायर लाईक यू कॅन फिनिश दिस एनसीईआरटी इन वन डे. ओके, इफ यू आर सिटिंग at 9, so 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. you can finish this NCERT. And my expectation is that you try to finish your NCERTs in a single day. Every NCERT, एक NCERT घ्यायचं, एका दिवसात खतम, दुसऱ्या दिवशी. हा बिलकुल, हा तर ते केलंच पाहिजे आपण, त्या हिशोबाने तुम्हाला करावं लागेल. चलो, so that is totally important NCERT. Next is NCERT of your NCERT, Indian Constitution at Work, class 11. Okay, the name of NCERT is Indian Constitution at Work, class 11. Okay, so in this NCERT, Constitution, why and how. Okay, so the first important chapter is Constitution, why and how. Why Constitution? Rights in the Indian Constitution, election and representation, executive, legislature, judiciary, all important concepts. Federalism, local governments, Constitution as a living document, the philosophy of the Constitution. Now, very important. Constitution as a living document. Suppose if you get this question, explain or comment on this statement, Constitution is as a living document, or Constitution is a living document, discuss. You can get this question at your mains examination. Okay, for 150 words or 250 words. So if they ask you Constitution is a living document or whatever as a living document, what is your understanding that Constitution is a living document? संविधान एक जिवंत पुस्तक है, भारतीय संविधान एक जिवंत पुस्तक आहे. काय म्हणणं राहील तुमचं याच्यामध्ये? म्हणजे व्हॉट इज युअर अंडरस्टँडिंग ऑफ लिव्हिंग डॉक्युमेंट? चेतना, चेतना काय अंडरस्टँडिंग आहे तुझी? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऍज अ लिव्हिंग डॉक्युमेंट. प्रणवी, Constitution as a living document. Like before going through NCERT, if somebody asks you this question, explain karo baba, what is your understanding of the Constitution as a living document? Why it is called as a living document? How it is a living document? Give some examples that Constitution as a living document.
It can be updated or changed. Like we can update or edit it. Hello?
Now, Nisha, you are taking
Living document.
You are as a student of women section. Okay, you have studied. Okay, you have completed your graduation, post graduation, right?
Yeah.
So if you compare a situation of Indian women prior to the implementation of the Constitution and after the implementation of the Constitution, what change you are observing?
Major changes is in education.
Then only in education?
No, the living. पहिला म्हणजे वुमेन्सला बाहेर जायला जायचे नाही, फॅमिली मेंबर्स सोसायटी मध्ये. ना म्हणजे आता मुली तर म्हणजे जॉबला जातात, मेनी अदर फील्ड्स दे आर वर्किंग.
Now you can see women as a president of India.
Yes.
And that's the second time the president of India. Many of the women we can see IAS, IPS, this, that. Okay. याच्यात आहे त्याच्यात आहे everywhere scientists है ना everywhere you can find women, right? So these things are happening because of the constitution. Okay, because what is ideology of the constitution, what is the aim of constitution, what is the philosophy of constitution? Justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. When we come to the concept of justice, so it is socio-economic political justice. When it comes to the questions of the women or the backward classes or the minorities or the people from the rural areas or the urban areas, okay, upper strata or the lower strata, when it comes to the social justice, so because of the constitutions, because of the constitution provisions, government is binding to implement those policies through which government can establish a concept of welfare state, right? In specific state, in all over India. Okay. So the most important thing is that why constitution is called as a living document, because the basic concept of constitution is to create a welfare state. The creation of a welfare state means considering your rights, your human rights, your fundamental rights, considering these concepts of justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. Okay. And accordingly, it is binding on each and every government of the state and the central government to frame such kind of policies. And that's why we are having so many policies. We are having so many policies. For example, many of the students belong to the different categories. They are availing the benefits of reservation policy. Why reservation policy? Why the students belong to the SC, ST, OBC, VJ, NT, SBC? They are getting reserved seats in the educational institutions, reserved seats in the your jobs. Policy for equality. Okay, policy for equality. So the source is constitution. Education. Okay, education. Okay, education for each and every individual. है ना, समानता है. असा है का आता कि a person belong to the upper strata, he is having opportunity to take education, and the persons belong to the lower strata, they cannot take education. असा है का? So the education is high. Education is equal means nobody will restrict you from taking education benefits. Okay, and then for the promotion of educational facilities, government is having own machinery. So we are having Jilla Parishad schools, we are having schools of municipalities, we are having government schools, right? So each and every individual, he can take free education from that. Nowadays in 2019, there is a right to right to education, RTE Act passed. As per the RTE Act, 25% seats of every educational institutions at school level up to the 8th standard. So 25% seats reserved for the backward community students, okay, and the students from the poor section of the society, irrespective of his caste or religion. Okay. So these policies, अन्न धान्य लोकांना मिळतं है ना, BPL असेल तर राशन कार्ड येतं, and you can take ration. Where is the source? Constitution. Everywhere you are having a voting right. Which is the source? Constitution. Okay, तुम्ही पब्लिक प्लेसेस मध्ये जाऊ शकता. का जाऊ शकता? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन आहे सोर्स. नाही तर आधी नाही का? आताही even today also, if you read the Frontline is a magazine by the Hindu newspaper. So if you read on regular basis Frontline, you would find so many practices based on the traditional caste system prevalent in North India, South India, and even in Maharashtra also. So you would find so many things. Okay, so many incidences you would find through these kind of magazines or newspapers. Okay, so basically for the socio-educational economic transformations, constitution is such a document which is giving guidelines to the government. Okay, आता तुम्हाला सुप्रीम कोर्ट माहिती आहे. सुप्रीम कोर्ट is interfering sometimes. Supreme Court is giving directions to the central and the state government. आता 2 दिवसापूर्वी सुप्रीम कोर्टाने गाईडलाईन्स दिल्या स्टेट आणि सेंट्रल गव्हर्नमेंटला. काय गाईडलाईन्स दिल्या? बिकॉज द एम ऑफ द सुप्रीम कोर्ट इज टू प्रोटेक्ट the basic structure of the constitution. What is authority of Supreme Court is not that body which is running government. To run government we have executive. Okay, to run government we have executive. To make laws we have legislature. Okay, but Supreme Court is checking whether the things are going according to the spirit of the constitution or not. सुप्रीम कोर्ट क्या चेक करता है कि बाबा जो कुछ ये एग्जीक्यूटिव कर रहे हैं, ये जो कायदे कानून लेजिस्लेचर में पास हो रहे हैं, ये भारतीय संविधान के स्पिरिट के हिसाब से, उसके प्रोविजंस के हिसाब से है कि नहीं. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि व्हाई कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज अ लिविंग डॉक्यूमेंट. बिकॉज व्हॉटएव्हर, लाईक यू आर वॉकिंग ऑन अ स्ट्रीट. आता तुम्ही रस्त्यावरती चालता, आता पावसाळ्याचे दिवस आहेत, रोज बातमी येते की खड्डे पडलेले आहेत, खड्ड्यामध्ये कुणीतरी मेला. तुम्हाला माहिती आहे की खड्ड्यामध्ये जर समजा कोणी मेला असेल, एखादा मरण पावला, तर दिस इज बेसिकली अ व्हायोलेशन ऑफ अ फंडामेंटल राईट, अँड यू कॅन डायरेक्टली अपील टू द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया अंडर आर्टिकल 32 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. ओके, हा. So yes, yeah, Indian constitution is not sacrosanct, right? You are right, it is subject to change. Yeah, that's why amendment procedure is there. Okay, but there is something which is called as basic structure of the constitution, and protection of the basic structure of constitution is important. Okay, so constitution as a living document is related to the different policies on the basis of the provisions of constitutions, right? Different policies for the social welfare, for the welfare of the education of different communities. Okay, for the job opportunities, for health opportunities. Okay, for the development of educational infrastructure, health infrastructure, this that. आता आपण म्हणतो ट्रान्सपोर्टेशन असलं पाहिजे, प्रत्येक ठिकाणी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी गेली पाहिजे. So we have fundamental rights, we have directive principles of state policy, we are having so many provisions in so many articles, right? So basically constitution as a living document, this concept is related to the policies. Okay, different policies, different welfare schemes, and ultimately the realization of the concept of welfare state. Okay, and that's why we can say the constitution. So if you get these kind of essay, or if you get question general studies, so answer is applied. Answer कसा असला पाहिजे? Applied. Okay, so this is important chapter. And then the philosophy of the constitution. So when we talk about the philosophy of the constitution, again this is very important question की what is philosophy of the constitution. तत्वज्ञान काय आहे, संविधानाचं तत्वज्ञान काय आहे, असा तुम्हाला प्रश्न येऊ शकतो. ओके, philosophy of the constitution. So this is again important. This chapter, last chapter, the philosophy of the constitution, this is important. And if you read this chapter, so you will understand what are the ideas, and what was the expectation of the architect of the constitution from the people of India. Okay, and on this through this chapter, once you understand the philosophy of the constitution, so this chapter will help you to criticize certain things. Okay, म्हणजे तुम्हाला जर संविधानाचं तत्वज्ञान जर कळलं, तर तुम्हाला आताच्या फेजमध्ये ज्या काही चुकीच्या गोष्टी घडतात है ना, तर त्याच्यावरती सुद्धा तुम्हाला एक क्रिटिसिझम करण्याची जी एक ॲबिलिटी जी येते, सो दॅट ॲबिलिटी तर ती ॲबिलिटी तुमच्यामध्ये येऊ शकते. ओके. Yes, yes. Bad road are still violation of right to freedom and personal liberty. Yes, definitely. See, you can interlink fundamental rights to so many things. Violation of fundamental rights. Suppose if you are getting a dirty water, supply of dirty water, that is also violation of your fundamental. समजलं? म्हणजे तुमच्या देशामध्ये आता बघा, मुंबईचं एक्झाम्पल मी तुम्हाला सांगतो. मुंबईमध्ये लोक लोकलला लटकत जातात. कधी कधी एखादा निसटतो, रेल्वेच्या खाली येतो, डायरेक्टली इंद्राच्या दरबारातच. Okay, so that is also a violation of fundamental right, because we failed to establish such system which could save the life of persons. आता त्याच्यामध्ये every time that is not a fault of government. ओके, आता ती पॉप्युलेशनच, म्हणजे हे मुंबईची जी इश्यू आहेत, हे तो म्हणतो ना आपण, तो पॉप्युलेशन एक्सप्लोजन ऑफ पॉप्युलेशन, आणि काय म्हणतो त्याला, ते पॉप्युलेशनचा काय हे, काय तुम्हाला एसेज येत असतील तुमच्या स्कूलमध्ये, पॉप्युलेशनचा भस्मासूर, लोकसंख्येचा भस्मासूर वगैरे वगैरे टाईप. सो दॅट इज अ प्रॉब्लेम. ओके, म्हणजे एवढीशीच लँड आहे आणि त्याच्यावरती किती भर सहन करणार. सो दॅट इज अ प्रॉब्लेम. ओके, सो एव्हरी टाइम that is not a fault of the government, but again you need to consider these kind of incidences as a violation of the fundamental. ठीक आहे, तर अनेक गोष्टी आहेत. नाउ द नेक्स्ट इज युअर politics in India since independence. Textbooks in political science for class 12. Okay, politics in India since independence. Textbook in political science for class 12. Class 12 च आहे. या काय लिहायचं, काय हे करायचं, challenges of nation building. Challenges of nation building. Now see this chapter, what are the challenges of nation building? So the to understand like this chapter, first you should have a very clear notion of nation. What is your understanding of nation? Whenever you are reading these kind of concepts or these kind of issues, challenges of nation building, so the first thing is that your understanding of nation. What is your understanding? Okay, your understanding means what you have understood on the basis of specific readings. तुम्ही समजा एखादा एसे वाचला असेल, तुम्ही काही पुस्तक वाचले असतील, इन जनरल तुम्ही कोणाचं तरी ऐकलं असेल की बाबा दिस इज नेशन, दिस एंटिटी इज कॉल्ड एज इन नेशन. सो नेशन मीन्स व्हॉट, फर्स्ट थिंग. ओके, नेशन, नॅशनलिझम वगैरे. ओके, these concepts are very important. Okay, so now they have mentioned challenges of nation building. Then they have mentioned era of one party dominance. Then politics of planned development, India's external relations, challenges to and restoration of Congress system, the crisis of democratic order, rise of popular movements, regional aspirations, recent developments in Indian politics. So basically all these chapters are important. Okay, these chapters are not like will help you to answer questions at prelims level or at mains level, but these chapters will enrich your knowledge. Okay, like for example, challenges of nation building. So if you are reading this, if you read this chapter, so you will come across okay, what are the challenges of nation building. Okay, if you are going through the second chapter, that is era of one party dominance. Okay, so you will come across that is what is this one party dominance. Now in Indian politics, what was expected with respect to Indian politics, what was expected that if there is one majority party, then there should be a very influential opposition party, right? See, what is like if you try to understand the future of democracy in India, what is important? If you want to understand future of democracy in India, what is important with respect to Indian democracy? That it is fine that there is a need of one ruling party. Okay, there is a need of one ruling party or alliance. Important opposition party. Okay. It was a very important statement given by Dr. Ambedkar, the chief architect of the Indian Constitution. What was his thinking about the Indian democracy? That for the survival of Indian democracy, along with a ruling party, there is a need of strong opposition party. अगर भारत के लोकतंत्र को सही मायने में भारतीय संविधान का एप्लीकेशन करना है, तो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण चीज है कि रूलिंग पार्टी के साथ एक सशक्त अपोजिशन पार्टी होनी चाहिए. What is the role of opposition party? What is the role? Now you must be knowing yesterday's news. What happened yesterday in Parliament of India? What happened yesterday? Yesterday what happened? No confidence motion. Are you having any idea about yesterday's proposal of no confidence motion on the floor of the Lok Sabha? Yes, Chitna. Sakshi, Pardamwar.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware about yesterday's development about the introduction of no confidence motion on the floor of the assembly? Yesterday.
No, sir.
Smruti, ऐकलंय का नो कॉन्फिडन्स मोशन बद्दल? कालची डेव्हलपमेंट आहे. स्मृती शिर्के.
येस सर.
काय ऐकलं?
सर ते ऑपोजिशन पार्टीने मोदी गव्हर्नमेंटच्या अगेन्स्ट मोशन नो कॉन्फिडन्स मोशन केलंय.
यस. सो वाय नो कॉन्फिडन्स मोशन? अविश्वास प्रस्ताव म्हणतात त्याला, अविश्वास प्रस्ताव. यस यस या इट वॉज मूव्ड बाय गौरव गोंगोई. गौरव गोंगोई, काँग्रेस लीडर. सी अँड नाउ दे आर
क्रिटिकल होत चाललंय की गव्हर्नमेंटचं त्याच्यावरती काहीच ऍक्शन नाही. सो अपोजिशननी त्यामुळे नो कॉन्फिडन्स मोशनचा मुद्दा उचलला आता काल पार्लिमेंटमध्ये अगेन्स्ट द एंटी पार्टीज ऑफ बीजेपी.
So this specific development is related to Manipur issue. Okay, Manipur issue. Okay, so now you just watch like what is happening, right? You just watch this news. Like Manipur issue is one thing, and the another thing is this no confidence issue. Because if you are like with respect of Constitution section, okay, with respect of Constitution section, you need to follow these kind of news. Okay, no confidence motion वरती तुम्ही एखादी न्यूज ऐकली तर you need to follow that news. Okay, yesterday the no confidence motion is introduced. Then what happened next? काय झालं exactly? What is going on? Okay, all of you must be knowing that assembly is going on state also. पावसाळी अधिवेशन चालू आहे माहिती आहे तुम्हाला, ऑल ऑफ यू? पावसाळी अधिवेशन चालू आहे माहिती की नाही? महाराष्ट्रात सुरू आहे, तिकडे चालू आहे. ओके, you need to watch all these news regularly. See, preparation of UPSC or your state services examination is not just attending lectures. Okay, like joining class, attending lectures. You are doing good job, but at the same time, what is another thing? You need to watch news channels, good news channels on regular basis. You need to read standard, and already I have told you all these things. सगळ्या instructions देऊन झालेले आहेत. I am surprised ki why you are not practicing the things. At every time, every day, I cannot give you reminder कि बाबा न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ा कि नहीं, न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ते जाओ, रेगुलरली न्यूज चैनल्स देखते जाओ, अच्छे न्यूज चॅनल्स देखते जाओ. ठिपक्यांची रांगोळी बघत जाऊ नका, है की नाही? आणखी कुठल्या सिरियल्स असतील तर त्या सोडून द्या, हे मी नेहमी सांगणार आहे का? मी तुम्हाला एकच सांगत असतो की यू जस्ट गो थ्रू द नॅशनल इंटरनॅशनल न्यूज ऑन रेग्युलर बेसिस. ओके, ॲटलीस्ट यू शुड रीड one standard English newspaper. Okay, you need to do these things, you need to practice these things. Okay, तुम्ही लिहित चला बघा. See, what is my another advice to all of you, while listening to news channels, important news, and don't give entire day. संध्याकाळी बसा, झोपायच्या आधी बसा, नाही दिवसभर वाचलं तरी चालतं, म्हणजे न्यूज चॅनल्स वगैरे बघितले नाही तर मॉर्निंगला पेपर वाचा एकदा, आणि रात्री झोपायच्या आधी न्यूज चॅनल बघा. गिव्ह हाफ एन अवर टू, अँड देन jot down notes also. Try to identify ki okay, which is important news. So no confidence motion is an important news. Why no confidence motion? अच्छा, न्यूज चॅनल्स न्यूज चॅनल्स कुठले सजेस्ट करायचे? या Ruchita, okay, this is your thinking that opposition is creating unnecessary chaos. Okay. Okay. So according to you, Lok Sabha was already ready to discuss the situation and bring solution it, but all the opposition wants is chaos due to
Sir,
upcoming
I don't think so. It was an unnecessary chaos. कारण की action घ्यायची असती इतक्या दिवसाचीच घेतली असती त्यांनी.
Yeah, so Ruchita, basically this development is because of the silence of our Prime Minister on that specific issue. And what is a demand of the opposition party, that the Prime Minister, as the de facto head of the state, de facto means he is the head of the state in reality. So as a head of the state, he should address to the assembly. Okay, he should not address to the people outside the assembly. He should address within the assembly to the people, to the representatives of the people. Okay, because we have sent our representatives in the Lok Sabha to discuss the core issues of the countries, and what our Prime Minister is doing, he is addressing outside the assembly, not within the assembly. So that is a problem. Ruchita, I hope.
So, but I think that the specific cabinet minister can be responsible for the particular situation.
No. As a head of the state, you cannot ignore the important issues of the country, right? That is an expectation. That is expectation. That is expectation from the head of the state. Okay, so that is basically a meaning of democratic country, है ना? तो आप भागते क्यों हो भाई, है ना? आप भागते क्यों हो? जो important issues है उससे आपने भागना नहीं चाहिए ना एज अ हेड ऑफ द स्टेट. If you are having interest in visiting to the different nations of the world, okay, so you should not skip these kind of important discussions. Why you are skipping this kind of important discussions? Okay, so that is the responsibility of the head of the state. Anyway, हा सांची. हा. And the most important thing related to the current situation in our country is that, like, now this is not our topic of discussion at present, but the most surprising thing is that the president is also not in action. Okay, our president is also not in action. That is the main problem. Okay, as a
Sir, but the government will have to enforce presidency. Then only the president can do anything. Like
no,
they are not even doing that.
is
Like they
that
should have
is
done
like,
it long ago.
that is one thing that is official, or that is according to the constitutional way. But at least she can express her feelings, her viewpoints. Okay, nobody restricted any person. Okay, even though she is at a very important position, so at least she can express her concern. See, Supreme Court express their viewpoints on the question of Manipur immediately after watching that specific video. Okay, so this judicial activism, we can say this is an example of judicial activism. Anyway, our topic of discussion is not Manipur or current situation. We are just, so anyway, so challenges of nation building. So the first challenge of nation building is these issues. Okay, हे जे आपण आता मणिपूर मिझोरम डिस्कस करतोय ना, these are the major challenges in front of our nation building. Okay, we have the problems of communalism, we have the problems of casteism, we don't have unity. Okay, and basically the problem is that we are having so many notions. We are having thinking like this is right and this is wrong. Okay, without having a proper understanding and proper knowledge. Okay, so illiteracy of the people, political immaturity of the people, so many things. म्हणजे अज्ञान हे तुमच्या अनेक समस्यांचं कारण आहे. ते अज्ञान राजकीय असू शकतं, ते अज्ञान वेगवेगळ्या गोष्टींवरती असू शकतं. ओके, the era of one party dominance. So currently we are going through that era, one party dominance. Okay, yeah, and then politics of plan development. Politics of plan development, very important topic. India's external relations. Okay, so India's external relations, again, why external relations are important, and काय गरज असते external relationship ची, काय गरज असते. Challenges to and restoration of the Congress system. Okay, now this is somehow different one, so you just go through this. The crisis of democratic order. Okay, the crisis of democratic order, again very important topic. Rise of popular movements in India. Movements, चळवळ, आंदोलन. Okay, what do you mean by movements? Movements काय आहेत? Popular movements काय आहेत? Now you would find different movements in India. Pro women movement, okay, pro labor movement, pro agriculture movement, okay, agriculturist movement, the movement in favor of the rights of the backwards, the rights of the minorities, the rights of the children, the rights of the tribals, okay, the rights of the women's, right? And then on the so many issues. Okay, so the crisis, the rise of popular movements, regional aspirations. Okay, regional aspirations means what? Okay, what is your understanding of regional aspirations? Regional aspirations means what?
So demands of people.
Hmm?
So demands.
Regional aspirations means
So
the demand or the expectation of the people from specific region. Simple word. Suppose if we are, suppose in Karnataka, so the people of the Karnataka, so they are having different agendas, they are having different expectations. The people from the Maharashtra, they are having different expectations. In politics, regional aspirations. म्हणजे बघा आपल्या देशामध्ये स्टेट लेव्हलच्या पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज फॉर्म झाल्यात ना, they are having interest in specific region. Okay, for example, when Shiv Sena started, okay, the party like Shiv Sena started, so what was their main focus, or what was their main agenda? State specific Marathi people, that is regional aspiration. If you find certain, yeah. Yes, Pranami, right. So not exactly linguistic. It's not exactly linguistic. It is basically in favor of the people of specific region. Okay, so Maharashtra आहे तर मराठी लोकांच्या फेवर मध्ये, कन्नडा आहे तर कर्नाटक आहे तर कन्नडा लोकांच्या, त्यांच्यासाठी and they give more importance to region. They don't enter into national politics. They don't as such enter into national politics. समजलं? म्हणजे आता तुम्ही बघा की if you are considering Shivsena, so do you find that Shivsena is like earlier Shivsena was not having national face. Okay, now you can see few of the MPs, they are representing to Lok Sabha. But when Shivsena was in infant phase, or when for so many years, when the ministers of Shivsena were in Maharashtra, but they were never active in the national politics. In recent period, you would find the representatives or some of the leaders of the Shivsena, they are into national politics. Okay, the same is applicable to certain political parties of other states also. So their concentration is only in specific states. So that is regional aspirations. Okay, and then recent developments in Indian politics. So in Indian politics, there are so many developments. Okay, so this is your NCERT of 12th standard politics in India since independence, and the entire NCERT is important. Okay, सर्वचे NCERT आहे तर ते या ठिकाणी महत्त्वाचं आहे. Okay, so now we have discussed these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 NCERTs for polity or political science. Polity, okay, that is related to Indian Constitution, and you read all these 6 NCERTs. Now I will move fast. आता आपलं कुठलं NCERT आहे? इकॉनॉमीचं. ओके, इकॉनॉमीचं NCERT मी तुमच्या समोर शेअर करतो. the understanding economic development class 10. Okay, understanding economic development class 10. With respect to your examination at the prelims level, Constitution is having almost conceptual questions, analytical questions, questions of comparative analysis, and what you can say, current affairs related, right? So with respect to Constitution and with respect to economics, you need to have same approach, like concepts in Constitution and in economics, current affairs in both the subjects, and then some sort of analytical question. Okay, so these are 3-4 approaches related to Constitution and economics. At the prelims level, you would find a contribution of 15 to 20 questions from constitution section, contribution of 10, 15 questions, sometimes 20 questions from economic section. Okay, but on average 10 to 15 questions you can consider. Okay, at the base level, third paper, in third paper you are having economics. Okay, in second paper you are having constitution, polity, good governance, right? Okay, and the knowledge of these two subjects, which is constitution, governance, and then economics, that is very important for this entire process of examination. So now we are having this chapter, that is development, the sections of the Indian economy, money and credit, globalization, and the Indian economy, consumer right. All chapters are important. So in development, they will discuss what do you mean by development. Development म्हणजे काय? मराठीत काय म्हणतो आपण डेव्हलपमेंटला? प्रगती म्हणतो का? Development. There are two words, growth and development. Suppose if I mention growth and development. Acha, development needs to be inclusive of all areas. Okay. ठीक है. आपल्याला अधूनमधून डिस्कशन्स सुरू करावे लागतील महत्वाच्या टॉपिक्सवर. तुमच्यामध्ये बोलणारे आणि खूप बरेचसे लोक आहेत, काही जण एकदम शांत राहणारे लोक आहेत. आपण थोडं सगळ्यांची एक हे वाढत गेली की आपण चालू करू त्या गोष्टी पण. ओके, बिकॉज द discussion will help you a lot, because discussion is nothing but interaction of the viewpoints. Interactions, okay, means sharing of knowledge, sharing of viewpoints. Okay, so through discussions you would find that you are having a different personalities. Okay, so nurturing of personality, for nurturing of personality, considering the demand of this examination, so discussions are important. Okay, group discussions. So eventually we shall start those things also. तुम्ही फक्त तुमचं थोडी मॅच्युरिटी लेवल डेव्हलप करा सगळ्यांनी, बिकॉज आय डोंट वॉन्ट जस्ट पार्टिसिपेशन ऑफ फ्यू स्टुडंट्स. I want participation of every student. Okay, because our aim is to ensure success of all students, not few students. So when ठीक है, anyway, so development is important chapter. Sectors of Indian economy, again, money and credit is very महत्वाचा है. Fourth is important, consumer right. So this entire NCERT is important. Okay, this entire NCERT is important. And with respect to economics, the most important thing is you should have conceptual understanding of economics. तुम्हाला conceptual understanding economics चा पाहिजे. त्याच्यानंतर आहे story of a village Palampur, people as a resource, poverty as a challenge, food security in India. So what story of village Palampur is given? You just go through that story, but that is not as such useful for your examination. Okay, and people as a resource, this is very important concept, because people as a resource is a concept of human resource development. Okay, तुम्हाला माहिती आहे की पॉप्युलेशन एक्सप्लोजन म्हटलं जायचं आधी. ओके, म्हणजे पॉप्युलेशन, if any state is having greater population, then it would be considered as a greater burden. Okay, but now if you are having a skilled population, then do you think that skilled population is a burden? Because skilled person can go anywhere in the world. Suppose you are having engineers. Okay, if you are having unskilled engineers, so that is a burden. But if you are having a skilled engineers, then skilled engineers can go to any part of the world. कोणी अमेरिकेत जातील, कोणी UK ला जाईल, कोणी इकडे जाईल, कोणी तिकडे जाईल, कोणी इथे राहून काहीतरी करतील. So population, है ना? So people as a resource. Now to to convert a person into resource. What is important? व्यक्तीला रिसोर्स मध्ये टू प्रोव्हाइड एज्युकेशन. पहिले तर एज्युकेशनच्या आधी येतं हेल्थ. पहिले जगला तर पाहिजे, पहिले तो बाहेर निघाला पाहिजे व्यवस्थित, तो जगला पाहिजे व्यवस्थित, त्याच्या ज्या मदरच्या ज्या रिक्वायरमेंट आहेत त्या फुलफिल झाल्या पाहिजे. ऍज अ बेबी, ऍज अ इन्फंट म्हणून त्याच्या रिक्वायरमेंट पूर्ण झाल्या पाहिजे. सो द फर्स्ट थिंग इज दॅट टू डेव्हलप ह्युमन ऍज अ रिसोर्स, द फर्स्ट थिंग इज हेल्थ. त्याच्यानंतर मग त्याचं ते एज्युकेशन, मग त्याचं प्रायमरी, सेकंडरी, कॉलेज, हे ते सगळं आलं त्याच्यामध्ये. अँड देन इकॉनॉमिक अपॉर्च्युनिटीज, एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्च्युनिटीज, employment opportunities, all these things. Okay, so that's why this people as a resource is important concept. Poverty as a challenge. आता मला तर हेच नाही समजत की हे किती दिवस लागणार आहे त्याला. पॉवर्टी ॲज अ चॅलेंज. गरिबी काय तर आव्हान. वाय पॉवर्टी? ओके, व्हॉट, लाईक देर आर लाईक ऑन इन एक्झामिनेशन यू वुड गेट क्वेश्चन्स रिलेटेड टू पॉवर्टी. Rath and Dandekar Samiti ek hoti. Then there was a Suresh Tendulkar committee. And then Suresh Tendulkar committee, they developed this concept of below poverty line, BPL. Okay, and for the BPL poverty line people, there are certain facilities. म्हणजे अन्नधान्य हे ते वगैरे. Nowadays, there is a new definition of the poverty. You must be knowing, this is contradictory to this poverty. EWS you must be knowing. इकॉनॉमिकली वीकर सेक्शन्स, आर्थिक दृष्ट्या दुर्बल घटक यांच्यासाठी 10% रिझर्वेशन न मागता मिळालं. पार्लमेंटने आधी डिक्लेअर केलं आणि नंतर सुप्रीम कोर्टाने त्याला लिव्ह केलं. सुप्रीम कोर्टाने त्याला ऍक्सेप्ट केलं. ओके, सो बेसिकली इफ यू सी धिस न्यू कन्सेप्ट ऑफ पॉवर्टी, then that is very surprising, because the definition of poverty, as per the definition of the poverty, and if you compare the BPL people, okay, so BPL is different definition and the EWS is having different definition. 8 lakh, if you are having an annual income of 8 lakh rupees, then you can avail the facilities of that 10% reservation as a poor. Poor means economically weaker. गरिबीची नवीन व्याख्या आहे ही, पार्लमेंटनी आणि सुप्रीम कोर्टाने ऍक्सेप्ट केलेली. लक्षात आलंय का तुमच्या? कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी आहे. ओके, कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी आहे. एनिवे, सो this poverty as a challenge and food security in India. Again, food security is very important issue. Many a times you can get direct question related to food security as a question at mains level. Okay, at the prelims level also you can get questions. Okay, so with respect to the food security in India, we are having Food Corporation of India, FCI, Food Corporation of India, godowns of Food Corporation of India everywhere. Okay, आणि तिथून सप्लाय केला जातो की बाबा त्याला काय म्हणतात की लोकांना अन्न वगैरे व्यवस्थित पुरवल्या जावं. ठीक आहे. यस, त्याच्यानंतर now this is your next NCERT, which is very important and somehow this is very exhaustive. ही थोडीशी exhaustive NCERT आहे. This is of your 11th standard Indian economic development. Indian economic development 11th standard. Okay, now this is very important NCERT. Indian economy on the eve of independence. Indian economy on the eve of independence. काय होतं? So low level of economic development under the colonial rule, agricultural sector, industry, foreign trade, democratic conditions, okay, occupational structure, infrastructure, etc. Second, Indian economy 1950 to 1990. Okay, then economic reforms since 1991, then liberalization, privatization, globalization. Okay, and then current challenges facing the Indian economy. So see, they have like this is first phase, this is second means Indian economy 1950 to 1990, and prior to that, okay, they have mentioned this chapter. Through this chapter, they have mentioned the scenario of agriculture, industrial, foreign trade, वगैरह sector. And then in the second chapter, they have mentioned the phase-wise development of Indian economy from 1950 to 1990. त्याच्यानंतर post 1990, that is 1991 economic reform. And in that, this liberalization, privatization, globalization, very important topic. Okay, LPG, it is famously called as LPG. Okay, so the foreign direct investment, foreign institution investors, these are the terminologies which are associated with this this program. म्हणजे तुम्ही ज्यावेळेस म्हणता की privatization, liberalization आणि globalization. So with respect to liberalization and globalization, you would come across the concepts like FDI and foreign institutional investors. ठीक आहे. ओके, सो या बऱ्याचशा गोष्टी आहेत, आपण त्या तुम्हा लोकांना त्या सगळ्या गोष्टी सांगितल्या जाईल नंतर. Then the second part of the same chapter, same book, fifth chapter, human capital formation in India, rural development, then employment, and then infrastructure. Okay, so this is all these topics are very important. All these topics, okay, all these topics. And the next third part of the same book. Okay, so environment and sustainable development, very important concepts. Okay, and development experiences of India, a comparison with the neighbors, again important chapter. And then comparative development, experiences of India and its neighbor. Okay, so this is again very important. इथे तुम्हाला gross domestic product and sectors, indicators of human development, development statistics. See, read this NCERT thoroughly. Read this NCERT thoroughly. Don't skip this NCERT and earlier NCERTs also. Okay, skip करायच्या नाही, thoroughly वाचायच्या. Okay, then I am having this NCERT of NCERT introductory macroeconomics, macro. Okay, म्हणजे याला मराठीमध्ये काहीतरी समग्रलक्षी असं म्हणतात. एक मायक्रो असते, सूक्ष्मलक्षी, आणि हे समग्रलक्षी, macro economics, textbooks in economics for class 12th. Okay, so macroeconomics. So macroeconomics मध्ये these are the important concepts. National income accounting. Okay, in that basic concepts of macroeconomics, circular flow of income and methods of calculating national income. So flow of income is good, is okay, but methods of calculating national income ते तुम्ही बघून घ्याल थोडंसं, म्हणजे वाचा आली यात काय काय मिळतं. See, in examination specifically, we are not going or appearing for academic level examination, and you are not a student of economics. Okay, so basically what is expectation in this kind of examinations, that you should have understanding of the basic concepts. For example, national income. So national income is an important concept. Gross domestic product, gross national product. Okay, purchasing power parity, triple P. Okay, then foreign direct investment, foreign institutional investment, right? So these are concepts. Okay, and if you observe the things which are somehow associated with some formula based concepts, so they are not expecting formulas from you in economics chapter. So wherever if you are finding some formulas with respect to economics, so you can skip those formulas, because formulas, you don't need to understand formulas, because you are not an academician person, right? You are not pursuing your masters in economics or bachelors in economics, right? So that's why there is one NCERT of microeconomics which is not as such important, but the macroeconomic is important with respect to few concepts, right? So these concepts of macroeconomics, national income, okay, then हे थोडंसं बघून घ्याल फक्त. This factor cost वगैरे हे थोडंसं महत्त्वाचं आहे. Then nominal and real GDP and welfare again important. Yeah, money and banking is totally important. Demand for money, supply for money, money creation by banking system, balance sheet of fictional bank. हे तेवढं काही important नाही. हे पण काही नाही. Tools of control money supply important आहे. Then determination of income and employment. Okay, so you can go through this chapter also. Okay, so you just go through these important concepts. So this NCERT is also almost important. The second part of the same NCERT I'm sharing here. Okay, so here budget, government budget, meaning and its composition. So that is important. And last chapter, that is open economy, macroeconomics, balance payments, current account, capital account, balance of payments, surplus and deficit, foreign exchange market. Yeah, everything is important. Okay, so this entire NCERT of 12th standard for macroeconomics is important. So the entire NCERT of macroeconomics is important. Okay, and the last one is, I hope you are understanding. The discussion is the aim of the discussion is to minimize your burden with respect to reading of NCERT, to understand the strategy with respect to NCERT reading. Okay, now this is last NCERT, and this is of India, people and economy. Take अच्छा हे geography. हाँ, India, people and economy. Basically, this is geography text. ना हे काल सांगितलं होतं का? नाही. सांगितलं होतं का? Population distribution, density, migration, human development, human settlement, land resources and agriculture, water resources, mineral energy resources, manufacturing, planning, sustainable development, transport, communication, international trade. Okay, so this is basic geographical perspective in selected issues and problems. So India, people and economy. This is a geography book for class 12. Okay. पार्ट सेकंड तर नाही. हा एकच आहे. हे नवीन आहे की जुनं आहे? केव्हाच आहे? 2007 आहे हे. Anyway, if you are having this index of chapters, then you can go through this NCERT. And the last NCERT, that is introductory microeconomics of class 12 for economics, that is not as such important. I am not sharing here that index, but here they have mentioned in introduction problems of an economy, organization of economic activities. Okay, and then consumer behavior, production and cost, वगैरह वगैरह they have mentioned. So as such, this last NCERT, okay, last NCERT of microeconomics is not as such important. So you can skip this NCERT of class 12 on microeconomics. Micro, okay, macro वाली करायची आहे, micro वाली skip करू शकता. Micro skip करायची, macro करायची. ठीक है. So this is all about the strategy with respect to our NCERTs. Okay. So any doubt related to today's session? How many students finish NCERTs at least once? किती लोकांनी at least एकदा NCERTs finish केलेले आहेत? Sakshi, what? Good. Yeah, Sakshi, Ruchita, Aditya, good. एवढ्याच तीनच लोकांनी. कुणाल, मोहित, ओके ठीक आहे. सारंग, तेजश्री, सम्यक, okay. See now, yeah, Abha also good. Okay, okay, ठीक है. So now see, today we have discussed approaches towards finishing. It is not just finishing NCERT, how to go through NCERT, how to make our notes, okay, and how to study in a proper manner. And this will definitely minimize your burden while reading NCERT. So have your own target to finish NCERTs considering your prelims year. So if you are having 2024 as a targeted year to appear for prelims, then you should have a 45 days target, next 45 days. If your aim is to appear for examination in 2025, and if you are a student who is doing graduation, then you can take 4 or 5 months, okay. If you are having 2026, so again, you can take some time. But the most important thing is that you should continue, like you should maintain your sincerity and continuity in preparation of examination. Okay, so preparation मध्ये continuity maintain करावं लागेल. ठीक आहे, चला. हा मोहित काय बोलायचं आहे, काय विचारायचं आहे? हा. नोट्स झाल्या तर अतिउत्तम. नोट्स पाहायला पाहिजे. रीड चांगलं करायचं, रीड चांगलं करून नंतर हे करायचं. हा 3 times. हा तर तुम्ही एक काम करू शकता, नोट्स लिहून जरी नाही झाल्या तरी अंडरलाईन करून तर होऊ शकतात ना. अंडरलाईन करून ठेवायच्या, लिहायचं नंतर बघतायत. At least you should read and you should underline whatever. Like yesterday I have discussed with you what to underline, what not to underline, and what should be our approach for underlining the things. Okay, म्हणजे underline पण करायचं असेल तर if you are underlining each and every sentence, so that is not effective way of preparation. Okay, तर जे आवश्यक आहे तेच underline करायचं. ठीक आहे. Anyway, so I stop for this today's session. Okay, and I am expecting your fast response, immediate response with respect to preparation. Yeah, thank you very much.